It's almost 6 years ago now when I decided to embrace the culture of barefoot. Well, let's go back to how it all started. The year was 2008, and I was a student at the Palmer College of Chiropractic in USA. And one of my classmates came to class with shoes that looks like gloves. And to me, it looked really funny, and I couldn't understand why he wore gloves to class. However, in our discussion, he introduced me to Uribram 5-finger shoes. These are shoes that are designed to be minimalistic so that they mimic how your foot should feel if it's barefoot. His argument was that a lot of Kenyan runners who have won major marathons have done so by being barefoot, and that took my memory back to my time in primary school. Because growing up in the village, I never wore a shoe until the time I was going to high school. And I remembered how we had our feet knocked on rocks, toes could come out, poked by thorns, nails, cut, you name it. But all the same, were resilient. And that kind of caught me by surprise, because I started asking, maybe then it's true, because in developed world like in America and other countries where people had shoes at the time, they wore their shoes long before us, and then that's why they were not able to run as we did. I started learning about the foot then, and how complex the foot as a masterpiece of engineering was. Fast forward to COVID time. When COVID came in, I was looking for things that would help me boost my immunity naturally, so that should I by any chance get infected, then my body would be ready to tackle the infection. So among the things that I researched and came across was barefooting, which rekindles my memory and my time in the US. I then revisited my barefoot Uribram shoes that I had, wore them for a few days, but I also realized it felt more like fashion than health. So I decided the first thing I would do is to start walking barefoot a little bit at home. But it was too sensitive. I didn't like it because I loved shoes. I had over 80 pairs of shoes, and therefore I wasn't so convinced. However, because every passing day there were increasing number of cases of COVID-19 being reported in the country, and the fear was getting real, I decided I would start putting my feet down more often. However, what broke the camel's back is I bought a shoe within the same time, and this shoe was about 20k, and I wore that shoe, and that shoe made me develop a bunion or a corn on my small toe. And within a week, or within a week or 2 weeks, my back was so painful. It was crazy. But I had not associated the corn with the back pain. So I got treated with chiropractic. I got treated with manual therapy. It felt better. But a few days later, the pain came back. Then a friend told me, remove your shoes. I removed my shoes and the pain was gone. And I remember that was the first day I went to work barefoot. And everybody at the office looked at me with shock, surprise. And I remember me telling them that we're gonna introduce a barefoot culture at the office, and that this is going to be an education for our patients to start learning the importance of having to put their feet down as an aid, as a tool to help alleviate most of their musculoskeletal suffering. Today, 6 years, 5 years, 9 months, or if you like 5 years, 10 months, going to 6 years, I have seen tremendous benefit of walking barefoot. And I'm going to go through them one at a time. First, I'll start with the back pain that I used to have after I got my shoes. That is a story of the past. Number 2, sleep. I sleep like a baby. My wife tells me that when I sleep, I can be carried and disposed of without having any idea where I am. 3, stress levels. I used to have a lot of stress at one point in my life, like everyone does. But I have noticed a tremendous tolerance and tremendous improvement in my stress levels and how I handle stress. But the kicker of all, it's my healing journey in the last 8 months. I've never posted this, I've never shared this, but sometimes in March this year, I was involved in a horrific near-fatal road accident. I lost a lot of my teeth. I'll share some of this imaging with you in this podcast. Hey, but God is great, we made it alive. And that was the test, the litmus test for me. After this horrific accident, I was taken to hospital. And professor who has done a miraculous job, actually the professors, because there are 3 of them, who have done a miraculous job on me. Told me it may take 6 years, 3 to 6 years for my dental formula to fully heal, for me to be able to eat meat, eat hard things, or even have dental implants, because the damage in my bone on the jaw was a lot. Yeah, that was really tough to hear, but I didn't believe it, because I had 2 things to my advantage. One is the fascia manipulation by Stecco, and 2, the gifts of nature, including bare feet on my side. So anyway, long story short, I was put in for surgery. Went in, and the doc did a tremendous job. Removed all the teeth that were broken, stabilized and sutured what needed to be done, and I was prescribed a course of medication, including antibiotics, painkillers. And my wife looked at me and was like, "Yep, finally you're gonna take them." And I said, "Nope, I'm not taking any of the medication. I'm only gonna take pain meds for a day or 2, because I was in a lot of pain after surgery. Not before surgery, actually. After the accident, I was not in pain. That was the crazy part. Despite how serious my accident was, I took 3 days before we could get to hospital, because the accident happened in a very remote place. So it took us 3 days to get to Nairobi and for me to get to hospital. So I wasn't in a lot of pain then, but I got a lot of pain after surgery. So I took pain meds for 2 days. I used my own natural remedies, including essential oils. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you what to do it if you have an injury, so that you don't say this is not a medical advice. But I'm giving you my story. So I used essential oils. I used food. I used fascia manipulation by Stecco. I worked on my fascia, on the injured areas, using needles. That's how I managed my pain most of the time. I used black seed a lot. I used sea moss. I used moringa. I used all these natural products in an organized way that was aimed at helping my body reduce inflammation. And I still continued being barefoot. And my healing has been like a miracle. Today, I can say that I'm fully healed. I eat meat. I started eating meat 2 months ago. These are my teeth. I started eating meat 2 months ago. I went for a review a month ago for dental implant. We did x-rays that showed a remarkable bone that my professor was surprised to see it. That they have taken 3 weeks to discuss whether I can do my implant next year in January. Not 6 years, in less than a year, which they have all the 3 of them have agreed that I will have my dental implants in January. That for me is proof enough that grounding, putting our feet on the ground, eating healthy, moving, loosening our fascia, restoring the proprioception of our body is key to reducing inflammation in our body. That is key in supporting the healthy function of our body. That is key in helping the human intelligence, the innate intelligence, the power that made the body to heal the body, do its work correct, to heal, to restore, and to enhance the human performance. This is my story. And here at the Health Farm we say, Mother Nature is the best doctor and barefooting is the Barefoot Doctor's prescription. We say keep it between stretch and relaxation because pain is not a lifestyle. Keep it simple, keep it amazing. Put your feet down today. Remember to like, to subscribe so that we can prepare more educative content for you. Remember, an educator is one who leads people out of ignorance.